Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Mexican style is the black fighter's kryptonite. That's what Stanionis is hoping for. And that's what the Stanionis fans seem to think. They're saying Jaron Boots Ennis is a slick, amazing fighter. Box from the southpaw stance, box from the orthodox stance. They say, but that really doesn't matter. When he gets in there it won't matter when he gets in there with a fighter who can fight in the Mexican style. And Stanionis is saying he's bringing the Mexican style to the ring when he and Jaron Boots Ennis face off this weekend. Now, to that I say, in the most respectful way, is actually, hold on a second. He may have a point. Maybe I need to hold my horses and not take it to the stupid. There have been fights, and I don't want to leave anything out. I want to be fair. We have seen some fights where that style of fighting has given some fighters some problems. Now, there has been, I think, fighters where you see the Latino fighter and Stanionis is from Lithuania, but where you've seen that Mexican style of fighting, has made for a pretty good fight with the black fighter. One fight that comes to mind, and we're going to take it all the way back, where you've seen a guy who could box, who could brawl, like Arguello and Pryor, where Arguello was having a lot of success, and then Pryor had the black buckle moment with Panama Lewis. Pryor won the fight, but you saw there was a mash-up, crash-up style of fighting. You saw another Mexican-style, brawling style with Provetnikov and against, Tim Bradley. Where Tim Bradley was more of a boxer. He would fight you, but he had to try to fight Provetnikov off, and he was catching his ass in that fight. You saw with Cesar Chavez and Meldrick Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was Taylor losing at the end of last few seconds of the fight, you just saw the pressure and the relentlessness of that Mexican style created a whole lot of problems. You saw Miguel Cotto. He fought in a style of more of a brawling style against Floyd Mayweather, where he was giving Floyd fits. Floyd won, but he had problems. He had a bloody nose and everything else. Floyd even said at the end of that fight, he thought about quitting boxing. He said that's how tough Miguel Cotto was, how hard he hit, and how deep he had to dig to get through that fight. Now, when you watch Jaron Boots Ennis and Stanionis, I understand people are saying that Stanionis has a style that's tailor-made for Jaron Boots Ennis. And you're looking at Eimantis and how he performed against Boots. You're looking at Chikadze and how he performed. And you're saying, you know what? And you're looking at Roman Villa. And you're saying, Chikadze boxed, but he held his ground more in the second fight. But Eimantis and Roman Villa were right there trying to, impose their will on him. But I just feel Stanionis brings more to the table. And with that style of fighting and that left hook he throws, if Boots wants to fight in close, I just think he gives Stanionis unnecessary chances to land something that could really make Jaron Boots Ennis miserable. But at the same time, we've seen Jaron Boots Ennis always find a way to elevate and get the wins. That being said, Stanionis, no matter what you think, set your bias aside, he's a step up for Boots. And for Stanionis, I think Boots is a step up for Stanionis. I really do. And that's why I think they're both going to elevate each other. And I think you're going to get a really, really, really good matchup. I just really think you do, man. It makes me think of a guy like, just recently we saw, Gervonta Davis scrapping with, what's his name? The Mexican pit bull. And, we saw Gervonta had to be a boxer, boxer runner in that fight. He definitely wasn't trying to stand there and trade with him. And my thing is, if Jaron Boots Ennis, if for some reason he can't hurt Stanionis, then what's going to happen next? Is Jaron Boots Ennis going to have a little bit of a mental, breakdown in the ring where he's like, shit, I'm hitting this guy with my best shots. His defense is better than what I thought. His chin is better than what I thought. And he's very resilient. And he's still putting that pressure on me. Because I'll tell you right now, he can't afford to let Stanionis get off on him. He can't do that. But that Mexican style is just something, man. I just think when you look at these fighters, that they just come, man. They come for you. But Boots is probably going to have to land something, man, something significant to keep Stanionis off him. And I think he can. Now, for Stanionis in the Mexican style that he says he's bringing in the ring, Boots in the jab. Jab, footwork. You know what I'm saying? Changing directions, lateral movement, half a step back, countering, finding openings, coming with the uppercut, you know what I mean, when he's charging in. And Boots can do all those things. And this is where you're going to see Stanionis probably start to get beat up, man, and start to swell and everything. We know he bruises easily. We saw when he fought Boots here, man, he bruised up big time. But I just think when you talk about these matchups and the Mexican style and that being the black fighter's kryptonite, another one that comes to mind, man, we were talking about Maidana and Adrian Broner. Even Maidana against Floyd Mayweather. Both fights. You know what I'm saying? What Maidana was able to do and the type of success he was able to have is just that pressure, that being relentless, but he also fought a little bit dirty. You know what I mean? And he had heavy hands. Stanionis has strong hands. I don't know if they're as heavy as Marcos Maidana. He's not a filthy fighter like Maidana is. But I think in this fight, we may see Stanionis trying to find a way to win because he does not want to lose and he understands what's going to happen if he loses this fight. Not only he loses the title, but it probably will fall to the back of the line and trying to get another big opportunity, man. He hasn't been as active as he wants. His title is the only reason he's in the position he's in right now. Without that title, I think he just becomes a nowhereian. And what I mean, he won't have anywhere to go. He's just there in the breeze like the other fighters who are just praying they can get a big fight. Anyway, somebody was talking about, don't worry about any Latin fighter trying to go in there and scrap with a black fighter who can box, because it's basically going to be a Roy Jones Jr. against John Ruiz type of fight. And let me tell you, that shit made me laugh, man, because I don't see, that's an extreme case of a guy like Ruiz who's super slow and just can't keep up with a guy like who couldn't keep up with a guy like Roy Jones Jr. who's super fast. Jaron Ennis is fast. He's not Roy Jones fast. Stanionis is not the fastest fighter, but he ain't John Ruiz slow. That being said, it kind of closes the gap as far as the talent gap, and I think the separation that most people think is there between Boots and Stanionis. I think it's much, much closer than what people think. But I got Boots winning the fight. But I'm really interested to see if Stanionis can crack the code. If he can crack the code. You know what I'm saying? The pressure, someone who can effectively apply that pressure and go to the Jaron Boots' body, they could have success. But the problem is you're going to get countered. Boots is going to counter you. And he can crack with both hands. Man, it is just going to be very interesting, man, to see how this goes. But I don't know. Let's sit back and wait and see. I think Jaron Boots Ennis, man, deserves a lot of all the credit in the world. I think he deserves to be the favorite, but I just have a feeling that this fight isn't going to be as easy as what y'all thought. Matter of fact, people thought Boots was going to walk through Evanescence. Why didn't he walk through Evanescence? You know what I'm saying? Because Boots hadn't fought in a while, and Evanescence knew he had to go life or death. He damn near got beat to death in the ring to just prove a point. Right? That's what some people felt. Then you saw Chikadzian come in there and put on an amazing performance. He lost. He got hit hard. He took some hard shots. He said he wasn't going anywhere. And he showed that. Kind of like Lamont Roach against Gervonta Davis. He was like, I ain't going nowhere. You got to kill me. And Chikadzian in the second fight with Boots showed that, man, you got to kill me. He damn near got killed in that ring, but he fought. He fought hard. He was there to win. He did some great stuff in that ring. Stanionis, man, I think is a notch above Chikadzian. But at the same time, I don't know. I think a lot of that Chikadzian movement, that Lomachenko style of fighting he was able to do in that second fight against Boots, I think that helped him a lot. Stanionis isn't that guy. You know what I'm saying? Stanionis isn't going to move up and down and change levels the way that Chikadzian was able to do. Anyway, I think both are great. Forget about the traditions and the styles, the black fighter versus the Mexican fighter. The bottom line is you're going to get two guys who don't want to lose, and they're going to scrap. And the thing about it, y'all keep talking about Stanionis and his Mexican style. Shit, Jaron Ennis must eat a whole lot of goddamn Mexican food because he sure as hell will fight like a Mexican when he has to and be in a phone booth and look for the mash-up, crash-up. So it's not like Jaron Ennis is going to run from that. He actually shows and exhibits some qualities of the Mexican fighter as well because he will sit there and fight in close. He's a great inside fighter. Great inside fighter. Just haven't seen him fight on the inside against Stanionis, where Stanionis loves to give the fans that kind of mash-up, crash-up type fight because he knows it's entertaining and he knows it'll help with his marketability. And if he can get in there, man, and put the bing-bings on Jaron Ennis, man, I just think, man, Boots is going to have to reset. And he's going to have to deal with all the backlash of people saying he was a hype job, et cetera, et cetera. He never fought anybody, which I don't know about the hype job. I think Boots is the truth. But when you look at who he's fought, he really hasn't. You know what I'm saying? Fought anyone of significance. This is the first fight that I think is really of significance. I'm not saying he was fighting guys who were ranked number 30 and 40. No, he was fighting guys who had earned their positions, right? But this is the fight. This is the fight. And yeah, he's 30-plus fights, and this is the first one, and people are sitting there poking him in the eye, and I get it. I get it. I really do. But at the same time, I think Boots, just like they say the Mexican-style fighters have machismo, Boots has that too. And they say most of the African-American fighters are slick and super physically talented and athletic. Boots is that too. But Stanionis is athletic as well. He shows his athleticism is shown in a different way in the ring. But I'm just saying, don't sleep on Stanionis. I think Boots should win the fight. I do, but there are a lot of people who are saying, man, Boots is gonna catch his ass when he get in there with that tough Lithuanian fighting that Mexican style. Anyway, let's see what y'all think. That's my 2 cents on it. The Mexican style, some people say it's the black fighter's kryptonite. I don't know. But there's a whole lot of fights that have happened out there where black fighters have beaten Mexican fighters, and Mexican fighters have beaten black fighters. I just think it's a matter of who finds a way to win, who finds a way to lose. We're going to find out this weekend between Boots and Stanionis. Keep cool. I'm in the breeze.